Priyanka Gandhi Vadra said if there is no tampering with electronic voting machines or EVMs, the BJP will not go beyond 180 seats in the 2024 election. These are the words of the high command of a party that has won two states, Karnataka and Telangana, in landslide victories in just the last 12 months. And yet here she is, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, pushing the most fatigued excuse for what I'm guessing the Congress sees as inevitable upcoming defeat. Ms. Vadra's words may be the oldest excuse in the book, the trope of EVM tampering, which somehow never comes up when the Congress performs well. But as I'm about to demonstrate today, her words prove that this isn't just election season, it's also excuse season. 2 days from now, the election begins, the first phase. But what Priyanka Gandhi Vadra has reminded us of today is that while the opposition has been mounting attack after attack on the ruling party, it has also been steadily building what I call a dossier of defeat. Her comment on EVM tampering is only the latest. But join me as I flip the pages of this dossier to show you why I think they've been busy building a case for a setback on the 4th of June. That's the day the results will be declared. The biggest excuse, viewer, that's been pushed is this narrative of democracy dying. From Rahul Gandhi on his foreign trips to Mamata Banerjee at a rally today, the opposition's excuse number one has been this suggested death of democracy. This is, of course, the mother of all excuses, a kind of preemptive blanket defense for what the opposition itself seems to be expecting on the 4th of June. That's why from the covers of magazines to economists and activists, there's a worldwide narrative, almost a toolkit-like push to paint the 2024 election as democracy's final blow. The second is this trope of a non-level playing field. I'm not saying it isn't a legitimate debate to have, and as you've seen, we debate it often here on India Today, but it still counts as an important chapter in the opposition's excuse-nama for June the 4th. None of the opposition parties is able to explain this proposed lack of a level playing field when explaining election victories by opposition parties in several big states over the last few years. Third is this idea of Godi media. Just today you saw both Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi both taking swipes at journalists. Rahul, when he was asked whether he would fight from Amethi, smirked and called it a BJP question. An hour later, Priyanka Gandhi attributed Modi's political victories to a fawning media that blanks out the opposition. I can speak for India Today when I say that the Bharat Jodo Yatra of Rahul Gandhi was one of our biggest coverages, and we pay as much attention and provide as much primetime space to the opposition as we do to the ruling party. Now, I have a slight conflict here personally, I must confess, since I'm one of the 14 TV anchors the Congress-led India bloc chose to blacklist in September last year, fueled by the viewership, perhaps, of these opinion videos I've been doing on my show daily, since my show isn't even a debate show. But once again, the media is a nice big chapter in the opposition's dossier of defeat, because it presents itself as a big excuse and a diversionary element when the results come. The fourth is the electoral bonds issue. What the opposition had hoped would be a smoking gun on election finance skullduggery has turned out not only to embarrass the opposition parties in unexpected measure too, but failed to find any visible resonance with the electorate, which is probably wondering why the opposition parties are so shocked by the suggestion that the funding of elections isn't exactly an exercise in Swachh Bharat. Well, with its failure to prove useful as a big election plank, electoral bonds will find convenient use in the June 4th dossier of defeat. Fifth, the use of central agencies. Now, those of you who've watched this show and our coverage in general on India Today know that no network has asked more questions on this issue than us. It is undoubtedly an issue worthy of protest and debate. The problem is the opposition has shown neither the stamina to keep the heat on the issue, nor has it accepted that excuses don't win an election. They only allow you to justify defeat. And finally, the suggestion that India has descended into fascism. Now, I would hazard that most people using the word, including our netas, don't fully know what fascism means, where it comes from, what the historic implications are. but it sounds suitably vicious and provides a useful amount of ambiguous cover for the many frustrations the opposition parties refuse to address and confront. The irony of this dossier of defeat, viewer, as you may have judged already, is that every one of these issues that I've just named, from EVM tampering allegations to the death of democracy to Godi media, are all worthy of the spotlight, worthy of debate, worthy of dharnas, worthy of the media spotlight, worthy of interrogation. The opposition is not wrong to keep the heat on these issues. The problem is the opposition seems to be happier to invest its energies in building a credible list of excuses for defeat on June the 4th, rather than mount anything close to a credible fight for the best possible outcome. That's the problem. And that, in my view, is the real death of democracy.